listening to my video here I record for Janice. So to tell you a bit shortly about my background and why Janice asked me to talk with you is that I have an international background of origin. I'm Danish, and I worked in international companies both in Denmark and the UK, and I worked in a number of different areas of the business. And especially HR, I spent a lot of my years in, and operation is probably my core areas, but also touched marketing and sales in different businesses. And also, I've not only been, in international corporate business, I've also been in small startups. I've even been part of the co-founding team, or I started my own businesses. And today I run a number of businesses I'm involved in, but the main thing I'm doing interim consulting within operation in the restaurant and hospitality sector. So what I will try to give you a bit of input is why I think a personal brand matters, and also why it's important that you are very aware about that, especially when you come out with new experience from university, and you have to move out in the world. And I think there's many people have not told how to deal with that when they come out. So first, a bit about how I actually decided to change my personal brand, because I was a pure operation person, and I knew my operation. I was really good at it, but I could see I needed to do some development very early in my career as a manager. I needed to understand the whole people part better. But I moved then from operation into HR, and I did that after I had taken a degree in strategy and leadership. And the degree definitely helped me understand the language and be able to speak some language within HR. But really helped me was my background from operation, and maybe also that I'm always been aware, first of all, of my state. So many people underestimate the power of your personal brand connected with being in the right state. So that's my first advice. Make sure you're in this right state every morning. And it doesn't mean to be an over happy, clappy, happy person. It means that you actually empower yourself to have energy enough to either take the right decisions, or either actually be felt like other people feel that you are a power force when you come in. And the second thing is that have a clear strategy for how you operate. And so if you have the perfect state and you have a clear model for how you operate every day. So I designed my own model over the years, and I apparently borrowed some of it, and I called it, it's not a new invention, I call it game. And it's about before I go into anything, I start to gather the facts, I analyze, I make a plan, and then I execute. And why do I have a model to approach everything I do? I do that because I know the importance of executing and implementing. And I will come back to why I think that's important in a second. So if I follow this model every time I approach a working task, the outcome just becomes much better, because I make sure I have all the right facts, make sure I take time to analyze, I make a plan, and I execute. And I actually use a lot. People think, oh yeah, but the first 3 steps that they hurry through them. I stay in the 3 first steps, and that have created around me that my approach and my thoughts about things has been really well respected. But also when I started executing, I got some tremendous results, which have been a really strange, both in an operation point of view, but also in an HR point of view, where you're probably already now and heard that HR don't have a say at the table. I don't think it's true. It's about you and your ability to build your personal brand. And also what I've learned in that situation, I said I went from operation into HR. I've done a bit of education, took a degree in HR, and also have a CIPD. Is that I found out all that doesn't matter, because when you come out in the real world, what really matters is your ability to implement. So find any operational or implementation model that works for you. I took the game. There's hundreds of models out there. A SWOT model is also, some people lean up at that all the time, and therefore they make start a thinking process for themselves. The next step, I think, is that it's important that everyone who wants to go into any kind of organization. But one of the things I've learned from my early stage was I learned by my dad and mom, because they're running their own businesses back in Denmark, to sell. They were running a restaurant business, so they run with multiple outlets. And one of the summers, I can remember quite young, I was given the responsibility for my own sausage making. And you can laugh a bit about that, but I learned the basic skills of selling. And after my first degree, actually, I actually decided going out to take a sales job, an international sales job. And I hate selling. I really hated everything about it. And I hated everything about selling. I thought it was like car salesman. But the skills you can learn around selling is directly impacted by your understanding of the human beings and also how you influence people. And my third thing, I would say, to build a strong personal brand, you need to be able to influence others. And influencing others is not to force something down their throat. It's your ability to make them listen to you and really be compassionate about working together with you. And how do you do that? First of one of the most important things, there's many books written about influencing. I will not go on about this here, but I will say read a book from Dale Carnegie about how to influence and make friends. It's a great book, and it's all about your ability to listen and understand others before you talk. And that has been one of the most critical skills for my success. The second last thing is to take responsibility for your own development. Don't sit and wait for your boss, the business you're employed in, the country, whoever it is, to develop you. Go out and do your own development. Pay for your own development. Invest in your own development. Buy books, buy courses. Do things that's out of the box for you. If you're not that strong in investment or understanding of economics, go and do weekend course on that. If you're not so strong in the soft skills, go and do NLP or whatever that will improve your emotional intelligence skills. Always being learning. Push. The last area I think that's very important to build a strong personal brand, and then I will leave you, is that when you are in HR, you're often be seen as an HR person, a specialist, and it's often because you are only staying in your own little world. And if you stay in that community, I can say came from outside, from operation person, is that you don't have a network to help you out when you really need to get something implemented. And one of the core skills, I think, that's very important to build another core skill. There's many. One of my 5 core skills is that to actually your ability to do networking. Go out and learn how to network. Invest in that. It's a skill to learn that, and to network with diverse group of people from finance. It can be internal in your organization, but more importantly, also outside your organization. You build a powerhouse of a network. So when you really need it, you know where to go and get that help. So how to develop your personal brand and why to do it? My 5 step was that move into different roles. So you learn different roles in the business. You move in diverse number of roles in diverse businesses. Always have a model you work for, so you actually have a process, so you are effective and fast and you're able to implement. Go and find the model that speaks to you. I use the game model, as I mentioned before. The third thing is that always be in the right state. And the fourth thing was take ownership and responsibility for your own development. And the last thing is to build your network inside and outside the business. And then I promised Janice just to mention a couple of my favorite books that have inspired me to improve my personal brand as I move forward. And the first one is How I Raised Myself from Failure to Success in Selling. And it actually is all about how to sell, but most of all, how to influence other people and really buy into you and your ideas. The other one is a network book. It's called Your Network is Your Net Worth by Porter Gale. Amazing book that really gives you the framework and understanding. Even you're quite good at networking, there will be new things to learn here, both online and offline networking. And then the last one is a guy called Daniel Priestley, and he's probably one of the I would say his organization, probably together with Dale Carnegie, one of the best organizations to learn you about selling, marketing, and influencing. And this book, The Key Personal Influence, is all about improving your personal brand. So definitely worth a look as well. That's it. Thank you very much for your time, and I hope that this was helpful for you.